Alright, for the semifinals, we have Tommy playing BAPK versus Diakiw playing Cyber Dragons. What an interesting deck choice playing Cyber Dragons. Now, this is a top 8 cut rounds, so both players have been playing at least 9 hours of Yu-Gi-Oh! So both players are going through, I guess, mental exhaustion at the very least. It is very difficult to play through. Like any competitive event, when you play that many hours of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're bound to get tired. And it's actually very difficult. I mean, when they play at their prime in the early rounds, it is, you can show you how scary they are. But this is the true test of their skills now. So Nick rolls a 10, Tommy rolls a 5, and a 6. Well, Tommy will be winning this dice roll, and he will be going first. And I'm just giving out instructions of how to play at this table because there's a lot of glare coming from the lights. The lighting setup was pretty bad in the store. So Nick, even though he lost the die roll, I don't think it actually mattered too much because he did tell me he would prefer to go second. Now Tommy opens up with a Speedor Terror Top, allowing him to search his deck. So he special summons it out and adds a Terra Speedor Takitomborg. And right now, Judge Cut has been enabled for the semifinals, so Oscar will be cutting the deck. Now, Takitomborg has been special summoned out, and now turned into a Dante. The very first Dante was pretty much free. Mills out a... Oh, that's actually a decent mill, just lost the Ghost Cherries. Farfa has been summoned out from the Seer that was milled. So in other words, no real losses there. It's a pretty solid plus. As Tommy considering to summon out another Burning Abyss monster to keep going. An extra deck card just toppled over. A Cowcab has been special summoned. Overlay, I guess that's going to be the second Dante. Now, no normal summons have been used so far. Now he detaches the Cowcab, sends a Skarm, a Boots, and a Maxi. And he's going to go straight into Beatrice. He's gonna go with the Boots, searching the Fog Blade. Gonna get the Judge Cut. Sets 2. End phase search with the Skarm. He's gonna probably add himself a nice tour guide, probably if he doesn't have it already. He is adding a tour guide. Sorry for the glare there. That is a tour guide. I'm a little sick right now, so it's hard for me to do this. But I'll try. This Judge Cut thing has not been really thought through. It's a bit awkward in the positions. Alright, now it's Nick's turn. Beatrice on board, Dante on board. I would say it's a pretty solid opening for Tommy here. With a Fog Blade in the back. Tons of things to counter with. Now Nick does want to go second. He's the type that wants to break boards because Cyber Dragons need his opponents to have a monster before he can actually summon up more stuff. Seeing his hand here, he has an Instant Fusion. I think he has 2 Cyber Dragon Cores, a Foolish Burial, and I can't... is that 2 Denko Sekkas? I think it's 2 Denkos. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. Not much to do in terms of breaking the board. And Tommy's side, he's rolling up his prize mat. These 2 mats are not the prize mat, but these are just for the feature of the top 8. Nick has to carefully think through his plays here. Playing this deck, Cyber Dragons, does give you a ton of advantage over all the players playing ABCs. In fact, I think this is one of the worst matchups for ABCs. Just because every single card you summon is practically a board wipe. It's a Raigeki every time. Now, Nick summons out his Cyber Dragon Core, which will give him a free search. Does Tommy want to use his Fog Blade on it? That's the question. Now, I don't think this is a matchup that most people are very familiar with, since you don't really see it at competitive events very much, or at locals even. So the effect goes through for Cyber Dragon Core, adding a Cyber Repair Plant. Now, Cyber Repair Plant does require 1 Cyber Dragon in the graveyard to activate any of the effects on that card. There are 2 effects on that card. One if you have 1 Cyber Dragon, and the other with 3 or more Cyber Dragons. Foolish Bear has been activated, so that Foolish is going to probably dump a Cyber Dragon to get that repair plant to go off. And he does run Galaxy Soldier, and I see an Overload Fusion. Overload Fusion is a very surprising factor in his deck. It gives him a lot more reach in terms of damage, and you can see that this deck is built to be extremely, extremely aggressive. I think that's how he killed most of his ABC opponents. The Cyber Repair Plant has been activated. Now he's going to be able to search a Light Machine type monster from his deck. If he had 3 or more, he can put one of his graveyard monsters back into the deck, but that's not the case. You can even search Galaxy Soldier with this card, which can basically set it up for Cyber Dragon Infinity. And don't forget that Cyber Dragon Nova in the Cyber Dragon deck has more effects than just being a CDI fodder. You can use it to revive Cyber Dragons and can extend your plays even further than that, which is why the deck is very scary. Cyber Dragon Nova is a very powerful, quote-unquote, boss monster. Now, the search has gone through. He did add himself a Jizukiru, the Kaiju, which is a Light Machine, so he's using that to kill off the Beatrice. Beatrice will not activate since Beatrice requires destruction. However, the Dante will activate to retrieve another Burning Abyss piece, so he's going to be adding back the Seer. Now, like Metal Foes that use Kirin and Gameciel, Cyber Dragons have their own way of clearing off the Kaijus that they give to their opponent. Because they're all machines, they can obviously turn them into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Although this Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon will only have 2,000 attack points, it is actually not that bad, since the Beatrice is gone, and it's gone for good since Beatrice is limited to 1. Nick will pass turn here with 4 cards left in hand. Pretty decent amount of resources. Dante will be activating, detaching the Takitomborg to mill 3 cards. There's a Farfa, a Lure of Darkness, and a Fogblade. Farfa will activate in the graveyard, banishing the Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Normal summon of the Tour Guide. Tour Guide of the Underworld will activate to summon out a Fiend from the deck. That pretty much gives him all options to all his Burning Abyss monsters. So he summons out a Libic. If Libic sent to the graveyard, that guarantees another summon with the effect negated of a Burning Abyss monster. So overlay the 2. Going into a Levier. The Libic will now summon out another card from hand, the Seer, and then the Boots summoned out again from the Levier. Of course, the one that summoned from Libic is negated, so it will not destroy itself when it sees that, hey, there's another monster on the field. I think Tommy is actually trying to calculate for lethal at this point. Very scary stuff. What is he going to try to overlay into? He has 25 on the Dante, 18 on the Levier. No damage dealt so far. I know that Tommy does run digital bugs. He's going to go into Giga Brilliant to push for more damage. Is he going to go for the Giga Brilliant? No. Yeah, there's the Giga Brilliant it is! Detach 2. Oh, he's gonna summon out the digital bug. I actually am not familiar with this guy's effect, actually. I don't remember how much attack that has. But there's a Dante on the board too that has been revived from the Seer. Dante. It's 25. 18. So he takes 75 damage throughout this board. That's putting Nick in a pretty tight spot. He's at 500 life points left, and he has to make a comeback from this. Going to be pretty hard. Not Fogblade, but the Phantom Knight Boots will be activating in the graveyard, banishing itself to such as another Fogblade. Now there's 2 Fogblades in the back now, which makes it very, very difficult for Nick to do anything. Apparently no target. Well. Judge cut again. I guess he forgot that he did mill one of his Fogblades into the graveyard. That would be a warning on Tommy's side for just not keeping up with his own deck. Now the instant fusion in Nick's hand is absolutely dead. Can't activate, not enough life. There's another core in hand, however, everything... Oh yeah, Chimera Attack Fortress is now back on the field. Attack is now 0. Because it was removed from the field, and it doesn't keep its attack stat. Since the attack stat is only gained from the initial time it's summoned, and once it's removed from board, it has no stat, and once it comes back, it's back to 0. It's quite unfortunate. Normal summon the Cyber Dragon Core. Is he going to be able to search? Nope. Gets Fogbladed! Nope. And I think Nick is going to go scoop this one? Yeah, Nick is scooping this game, so game 1 goes to Tommy. So Nick gets to choose who goes, and he is choosing to go second. Like I said, his deck does require his opponents to have monsters on the field first, but that gives Tommy quite a bit of advantage. Opening with Taki Tomborg again. Seems like Lady Luck is on Tommy's side, showing him the... Oh, and not opening with the Taki Tomborg. So now the search the Taki Tomborg, special summon the Taki Tomborg. So free Dante is very much a thing right now. Fogblade in hand. Sideboard, I see a system down. It's very unfortunate for Nick to run Cyber Dragons in a format where System Down is a common side, thanks to ABCs being too popular. Oh, what is going on? Nick has a reaction to the Dante, maybe? MOS4, Maxi, gloves. Oh no, drops a card. There's the Taki Tomborg that was detached. Oh, not Taki Tomborg, but Terror Top. Gloves will activate the Foolish something into the graveyard. That'll be the Cloak. Cloak is gonna go into Boots. And I'm guessing, just a hunch, that by adding Boots to hand, he probably has another Phantom Knight in your hand right now. Here we go. Normal summon of Phantom Knight Boots. Special summon the other Boots. Man, that combo is kind of disgusting if you think about it. On that, oh, Chaos Hunter has been dropped. However, Dante can't crash into a Chaos Hunter. That's a little unfortunate. He mills 3. There's a Farfa. But Farfa cannot activate because of Chaos Hunter. Very, very clutch. Basically, every copy of Farfa is a dead card while Chaos Hunter is on the field. You cannot remove it. And since he put both of them on defense mode, and of course it was turn 1, Dante can't crash into that Chaos Hunter. This will protect Nick from getting that system down in Tommy's hand is also not very effective right now until that Chaos Hunter is dead. So it's probably worth it for him to crash it. Oh, Galaxy Soldier has been summoned out. Ditching a Cyber Dragon. So I'm guessing Galaxy Soldier will be adding a card to hand. Two cards in hand. What will you react to? Oh, it's a Fogblade. Fogblade onto the Galaxy Soldier. That kind of stuns things up a little. It kind of sucks, really. Oh, this is a bit brutal. There's an instant fusion still. Instant fusion has been activated on next. He'll be taking 1,000 life points for cost. And is he gonna go with the little cycle? Yeah, he's going with the cycle. I guess Panzer Dragon has more uses than, of course, just the cycle right. Does he have the potential to go into Infinity? Now, I know he can go into Nova for sure, so if he overlays these two, he can go into a Nova. Now, Nova does have the effect to boost its own attack by another 21 by banishing one of your face-up Cyber Dragons from your monster zone, or one in your hand. So let's go into that. He could detach and also summon a Cyber Dragon out of the graveyard too. But the most unfortunate part is that Dante has 25 defense and the board cannot be broken. Now, do you want to summon out a Cyber Dragon or do you want to just go straight to Infinity? Going into Infinity right now could boost you to take out maybe one of the Dantes. The only Burning Abyss in the graveyard for Tommy is the Farfa, so you know, even if he kills the Dante, he could choose to negate it and negate the Dante's retrieval effect. And I guess he wouldn't, but then he would actually risk losing his Cyber Dragon Infinity due to the fact that the lack of materials would push its attack stat low enough for Dante to actually crash into it. Or worse yet, you go into a Beatrice, go into a Beatrice and then crash into that, and then it's putting out Pilgrim Dante. Nick has an Overload Fusion in hand, but I don't think he should. Kills off the Dante. Dante will be retrieving the Farfa. And that's all that can be done because the Chaos Hunter is at 25 and the Dante's defense is also 25. Now we have a floating Fogblade on Tommy's side just because the Galaxy Soldier was overlaid onto. It's actually a good spot to put, especially if playing against people that use Fogblade. It's actually a better part that they leave it on the field. Oh no! Cyber Dragon Infinity has been killed by the sticky kaiju, the spider kaiju. Dante is gonna go mill. Skarm, Farfa, and System down. Well, two of them are pretty useless for now, until the Chaos Hunter dies.
I like that because like Chaos Hunter, like in theory.
Chaos Hunter, man.
Usually it actually gets like a fair amount of work done. Like it gets
Very, like it's definitely getting some value. So I guess the Dante is now gonna turn into a Beatrice. Oh boy, is it what I predicted? The crash is real. Dante's okay. Both Dante's effect and Beatrice will go off. Dante will be adding back. Guess Farfa's all now live too. And he'll also be taking the hit from the Sticky Kaiju. Sticky Kaiju is at 24, so I guess 400 damage will push through.
Sorry, Tom, you want to move the cards up? Oh, sorry. Super cool. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Fogblade in the back, that's a dull one. This doesn't do anything. But that Dante is the scariest card. You should never let that card come out, because that card can seriously generate advantage. Especially if he has a Farfight in hand, it means he can draw a card and then banish one of yours. Just interrupt your plays and gain advantage non-stop. And of course, Pilgrim Dante cannot be targeted, and if you do kill Pilgrim Dante, he will give you a minus as well. So banish out the Boots. Boots will be searching another Fog Blade. I really hate this area for filming. So another Fog Blade has been set.
Oh, you did have Scar down there.
Adding a Tour Guide to hand at the end phase. Oh boy. Nick, you are in a very awkward position. You have a... Ooh, that's not bad. A Cyber Dragon Core.
You got 64, right? I mean 66.
You have the potential to kill off the Pilgrim Dante by giving him a Diakiw.
How many cards in here? 4.
Surprisingly enough, you might even be able to make a full comeback. However, that Fog Blade is definitely in the way. If it wasn't for Fog Blade, it wouldn't be that big of an issue. In fact, if it wasn't for Fog Blade, I think Nick would actually have game right now. Now, Tommy did not play his system down. So that's the one reason why Nick has a comeback. With that many machines and lights in the graveyard. With that many machines, that's definitely a kill. But Fog Blade is just really in the way. And not just Fog Blade, but the Dante itself too. The Dante needs to die, and it needs to be killed by a Diakiw. Ah, the Fog Blade. That is what will kill Nick. Oh, and he drew into another Kaiju. Dante's effect. That will banish away the Cyber Dragon Core. Fog Blade will be destroyed because the target was removed. No one will summon out the Tour Guide. Man, Tommy's just setting up each Dante to be worse than the next. Anytime you kill a Dante, it's just got like a whole series of effects that go off with it.
I did it again. You don't target? No, the thing that you talked about earlier.
Oh, what's going on? What's he gonna summon out? There's a Seer, there's a Cow Cab. What is your target? He is gonna... I think he's going with a Skarm. Yes, it's gonna be a Skarm.
Because, like, you gotta find them. They're OTS.
Seems like I'm doing the shuffling now. Oh, this is quite a bit of damage if you think about it. Overlay. Acid Golem! Probably not Acid Golem. He's gonna go into a Levier. Detach the Levier, reviving Boots. Using Phantom Knight Fog Blade in the graveyard. Summoning out the second Boots. Oh, this is a lot more damage than I thought. Is he gonna go with Giga Brilliant? Nope. Break Sword. And he's gonna be taking lethal damage from this play. And it is game. Nick gets 2-0'd by Tommy. Well, he put in a really good fight. It was actually much closer than you think, especially with that Overload fusion. So, I guess Tommy will be moving on to the finals. Again, both these players played very well to get to where they are now. So, congratulations to both of you. Deck profile of Nick's Cyber Dragon deck will be coming up shortly, so stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget to hold on to MST.TV. And stay tuned for the finals!